Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, of Great Millstone, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. Now I say shalom to you Akim out there on this Shabbat Tuesday afternoon on this February 8th, 2022. And I'm about to do this sit down lesson of this news article right here as I just brought up, which was published February 8th, 2022. And this is from the Jerusalem Post. And the highlight of this news article I meant to say was, it says, North Korea boasts of shaking the world by testing missiles that can strike U.S. North Korea boasts on Tuesday that it is one and only a handful of countries the world field nuclear weapons and advanced weapons, and the only one standing up to the United States by shaking the world with missile tests. International tensions has been raising over the recent series of North Korea ballistic missile tests, actions long banned by the UN Security Council. January was a record month of such tests, with at least 7 launches of 9 missiles, including a new type of hypersonic missile able to maneuver at high speed. It says also among the tests was the first firing since 2017 of a Hwasong 12 intermediate range ballistic missile capable of striking U.S. territories in the Pacific Ocean. It says, in today's world where many countries times dealing with the United States with the submission and blinding obedience, there's only our country on this planet that can shake the world by firing a missile with the U.S. mainland in range, North Korea Minister of Foreign Affairs said in a statement. The series of tests since the new year represented remarkable achievements that strengthen North Korea's war deterrence. The statement on the ministry website says, there are about 200 countries in the world, but only a few have hydrogen bombs, international ballistic missiles, and hypersonic missiles, it says. The state cited that the Hwasong 15 longest range intercontinental ballistic missile ever tested by North Korea was tested first once in 2017. It is believed to have the range to deliver a nuclear warhead anywhere in the United States, as well as the Hwasong 12, which North Korea once treated to use on Guam. Talks persuade Pyongyang to give up or limit its arsenal in return for sanctions relief has been stalled since 2019. The United States called on North Korea on Monday to defund its nuclear and ballistic missile program, which is not going to happen. especially from how the way North Korea is saying. I doubt if they do that. It said talks to persuade Pyongyang to give up or limit its arsenal in return for sanctions relief have been stalled since 2019. The United States called on North Korea on Monday to defund its nuclear and ballistic missile program is prioritize the needs of its own people. The United States and South Korea Officials said they feared the launch of the Hwasong 12 on January 30th could be a step towards fully resuming tests on North Korea's ICBMs or nuclear weapons. North Korea has not conducted a nuclear test or firing on an ICBM since 2017. A Washington think tank said on Monday it has notified a military base close to North Korea's border with China that is likely to extend for station ICBMs. So yeah, hey, North Korea, they boasting about, they can have missile launch tests can strike the U.S. And this goes back into, I believe, like during the missile tests North Korea and Pyongyang did in the month of January, which is a record-breaking high of missile launches. You know, and the United States, they was kind of shocked and kind of off guard about, they kind of felt that warning, about, North Korea possibly can have nuclear hypersonic ballistic missiles and ICBM missiles can launch the U.S. territories, can get closing distance to the United States. And, the United States, they was kind of cautious and afraid about that, And that goes back into, currently in the time that we're living in right now, these nations are starting to show their muscles. They are starting to show their military might and strength, especially North Korea, China, and Russia as well too. They are starting to show their military might and strength, and that goes back into the book of Joel 3 and 10. And we're starting to see this more typically now, especially nowadays we living in. Yeah, let the weak say I'm strong, And North Korea definitely been showing that. They definitely been stepping up their military might and capabilities, And this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and the plenty hooks into spears, and let the weak say I'm strong, right? These nations, they starting to show their true muscles, That started to show their true military might and strength, Just like the book of Joel 3 and 10 says, let the weak say I am strong. These nations are starting to show their military might and strength. That, they not afraid of North America anymore. Even if they do, might use these economic sanctions or discussion with other nations of the United States having allies that create these sanctions possibly, or try to destabilize, Pyongyang and North Korea from their nuclear launching or their creativity or creating ballistic missiles or hypersonic long range or short range missiles or continuing, because I believe this is their missile. This is their ICBM missile launch since 2017, because they've been mostly doing the hypersonic ballistic missile tests, and then now they starting to do back again the hypersonic. They starting to do back since 2017. Now they starting back again doing the ICBM nuclear missile tests as well too.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's good.
That's why I pray something stuff on. Man will cut your head.
Yeah.
You got to. You'll cut a people.
Yeah.
You feel really done. That shit need to be cooked.
Yeah.
He'll do it for you. I got no fear.
Right.
When you tired of that shit,
Right.
cook in that.
Yeah.
That just like they're saying, yeah. Ain't been cut in there. I ain't gonna get there. Fuck, I'll get work out and check whatever. Been for. I said, that lady I'll wait for $10. Fuck that. I'm talking about this chicken plate.
Right.
Yeah, she don't come down and get there fast no way, shit.
Yeah, true.
I'll get my $10 good enough, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
He had to say he wants you to cut his hair, right? Right. And scared you ain't cut it out, so he'll cut it for him. So when you see it, Mom, there's a crooked in there.
So yeah, back to what I was saying, this is the ICBM nuclear missile tests North Korea been doing. This been since 2017, since they ever did an ICBM nuclear missile tests. And that goes back into the book of Joel 3 and 10. These nations are starting to show their military might, their strength and capability, to let the weak say I am strong. And they've been showing that, especially in the year 2022, from the year 2021 to the year 2022, they've been showing their military might and capability and
Oh
strength.
man, I said, you can watch those zombies.
Yeah.
He'll get it for you. He'll do it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
You tired of that shit.
Right.
You like boo-boo.
Yeah.
Too cool ain't no thing, man. I still know. I know why the doors pop up on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Because they was playing yesterday. They don't play back till tomorrow.
Juice brought him back to sleep.
Probably so.
Mm-hmm. So they probably in the basement playing music.
Yeah.
So the June probably waiting on the juice. I just had to do my hair. I do my hair good. I take time to do it. I don't want to see no chicken.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? The OG just did my hair.
I'm just sitting back waiting on Shonda to come back from the stove.
Oh, but she went to the store.
Yeah, she was juicy crazy, boy.
Oh, what, they went to save a lot? Oh, you ain't go there?
So, Slovakia for the interruption. But, back to what I was saying, is these nations are starting to show, let the weak say I am strong, These are the current signs of the times that we are living in. These nations are starting to show their military capability, might, and strength, So, it doesn't matter if the United States and Japan come with some type of agreement or discussion at the table or a meeting or upcoming meeting. I think they gonna have about discussing possibilities of for economic sanctions or destabilization or the destable or nuclearization of find solution and ways to stop North Korea from doing nuclear missile tests and ICBM nuclear missile tests as well too. But if they might do economic sanctions, that's still not going to stop North Korea and Iran, countries like that, from doing their nuclear missile tests and capability. Just like the United States having lift up the sanctions about $3 billion, like I mentioned before in my previous video. I spoke about this situation, about the revival of the 2015 nuclear deal, between the United States and Iran. Even if they did lift up unfreeze and lift up $3 billion sanctions, that's still not gonna stop Iran and North Korea continuing doing their nuclear capability, hypersonic ballistic missile nuclear testing. That goes back into Joel, and we are definitely living in the book of Joel 3 and 10, of these nations are starting to say, let the weak say I'm strong. You see how they was boasting out as I was reading that article. This coming from the Prime Minister of North Korea. He made that statement. Kim Jong-un didn't make the statement. He made that statement saying, hey, we gonna shake the world. We got the most nuclear capabilities and nuclear missile tests on demand right now. Even though we might be a small country, but hey, we got military might just like any other big country. And they definitely boasting against the United States, saying we are not afraid of you, and we can have missile launches from a far reach range to the U.S. territories. That goes back to that the weak say I'm strong, and they showing signs and examples of that. So with that, that's all I wanted to bring out. I hope this lesson was edifying on this Shabbat through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And like I mentioned before, back in the book of Joel 3 and 10, let the weak say I'm strong. And they starting to show that, in these last days, after North Korea made that statement, after they did those 9 nuclear missile tests in the month of January, now they boasting about it, And they said they not afraid of America, they stepping up to them. And they saying they the only country that's stepping up to America and not being under subjection to them, And they stepping up their efforts, And so with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rekar Kadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, of great millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching His word truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. And until next time, I will say, shalom.